Antonio Naranjo has left Dr. Stravinsky because his philosophy is a little bit different to other people's. I've always been a bit of a critic of sustainability,
You do it just for show that you are doing, but really you don't believe in that.
Here I am with another edition of Bar Talks. This is an intimate conversation with members of the bar industry that you probably don't know about, and I don't give a shit if you don't, because the conversations are interesting and relevant to everyone. Today I'm joined by Cesar. He is the head bartender of Dr. Stravinsky in Barcelona, but he is head bartender at Dr. Stravinsky in Barcelona at a very interesting time in the life of this bar. So can you tell me who, what, where, why? What's your jam?
That's it. So I'm Cesar Montilla. I'm now the new head bartender in Dr. Stravinsky in Barcelona. I have been like a bartender 6 years, 2 years here in this place, and it was a really nice time before, also now, but how you say it's a really interesting moment because there's a lot of changes in the company, how a lot of people I think know.
You just mentioned you're from Venezuela, so you are an immigrant into Spain.
Yeah.
You're not European.
No.
When did you come here as an immigrant?
10 years ago.
10 years ago.
So 2011. Yeah.
It's a while. And you were always in bars and restaurants even back home, or did you start?
No. I started just 6 years ago, kind of. I started like a waiter because I was studying in the college, in the university, and then I decided I need some money and I started like working in like a waiter. And the idea was going back to study my career, but then I never go back because I found this and I like it. And being like a bartender more or less 5 years.
What's it like being a Venezuelan in like the old world, Spain?
I come here before to visit because my mom was living here, so I came to visit and you see, oh, this is amazing. It's totally different, The culture is different. So at the beginning it was hard to get to use and to know people and all that, but
even if you speak the language, it was very difficult to transition.
Yeah, because even if you speak the language, but the language is the same one, but it's a lot of slangs. And how you talk in Venezuela is not the same thing that you talk here. You just have a lot of different words that here are not using or are using in another way. So
awesome. So in many ways, you've had to take on this new role as, I guess, the oldest person in the business at this point. And so what is your personal feelings about stepping into a more public role in charge of a bar that has so much history associated with one person?
So right now, of course, I have to do my things, but I will try to don't change a lot because I think the concept and the philosophy of the bar is really interesting. That was why I came here to work, to learn. So I want to keep going more or less in the same line. But of course, the face of the place is changing. So Antonio is not anyone less. So I have to put kind of philosophy maybe, but not in that way.
To elaborate.
Yeah.
Antonio Naranjo has left Dr. Stravinsky.
That's right.
Antonio was essentially the face of Dr. Stravinsky for how many years?
4 years.
And what happens now?
So Antonio left because, he decided to do all different things and was like really hard to, go together with all the plans that he have and also be the manager and the face in the bar because his philosophy is a little bit different to other people. So he's decided to, if he want to be at the bar, he have to be at the bar working and the people can come to see him like always. And he don't want to change that too much. So he need like a little bit more time off.
And so in that case, can you share any tricks or any new ideas that you're bringing to the new generation of Dr. Stravinsky? Because I know you have a new menu coming very soon.
It's coming soon.
Can you share any cool shit at all with us?
So it's interesting because in this new menu, what we are doing is like in the cocktail, the new like a trending thing, but I suppose it's also the future in the industry is try to have zero waste and reduce things. So we are focused more on the ingredients, how to use the ingredients, how we can use all the parts of the ingredients, all the ingredients in different cocktails. So we are focused more on that. So using different techniques for that to preserve the ingredients.
Well, let's talk about that. What is the philosophy of Dr. Stravinsky? Because Antonio used to work in Himcock.
Yeah.
Which has a lot of similar techniques. Exactly. When he moved to Barcelona, everybody was like, well, it's like a mini Himcock, which is completely really against what the purpose of Dr. Stravinsky was.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I suppose when you have a lot of time working in a place, you you learn a lot of things from there. You also, that the good things you learn, you want to put it in the place you want to open, no? It's like, so the concept and the philosophy of the bar, I suppose, is more or less similar, inspired on Hincop, of course, but it's more like artisanal and more small. How you see the place is also small and it looks totally different. So it was like a more artisanal, and the concept is like to do a lot of techniques and also try to bring techniques that I was using before, even knowing cocktails, like how you say fermented things that they are doing also in other places. So they try to use also really old techniques, but also try to do it in a new way or give something new, you know, because we are in different times and we have a lot of machines now and new ways to see the things. So the way.
Well, your menu was broken down into techniques, right?
Exactly.
That was the sections.
Yeah.
It's less about some sort of crazy concept. It's like, what did we use to make this drink?
Yeah, exactly. How we make it, and you have a small explanation in every technique, so the people doesn't know, are into the industry, can see what we do. And that's more or less how we put the cocktail together. By techniques, more about them flavors, because when you open the menu at the first time, you have like a cosmos that you have it for the flavors, and then you have it for how they are like a sweet, strong, blah, blah, blah. And then you go inside and you see how we make it.
But okay, so you know, I've always been a bit of a critic of sustainability. You know, I feel people are always jumping on the trend. I'm like, is sustainability bullshit? Is it just a way to get headlines? Well, how are you going beyond just, we're reusing the pit of an apricot?
Yeah.
Like, is there anything you can share with us that you're doing with the new menu that's a real kind of sustainability?
Yeah, I think what you say is true, because it's a lot of brands and different things that use like a sustainable, like a greenwashing, or greenwashing.
Yes.
I don't know, you are with the word that is like you do it just for show that you are doing, but really you don't believe in that. So what we are doing is not doing just the sustainable from the environment, is also we want to do it with the people, with the artisans, with the different things. So we are working, for example, we are doing like upcycling with a girl have a company that she cook bottles in different ways. So we're going to have the glasses for the water is going to be a bottles that we cook and we treat to give like a small color, you know, with the logo. So in that way, we help all the company. We don't throw the glasses that the bottles that we normally throw. We use it again and we try to give a new life. And also the idea is, if the people come to the bar and see that glass and like it, we can sell it. So in that way, we always can do the reusing the bottles, and she is going always to have more work for us.
So it creates almost like a sustainable economy.
Circular economy, yeah.
Okay.
That's more or less the idea.
Super
also
cool.
In that way. Then we have another ideas to work with the, local farmers or local producers. Like the honey we're going to use is a honey that they produce, the beekeepers in Girona. And we're going to design a honey just for Dr.Stravinsky, for example, because they have a lot of honeys, like a rosemary honey, lavender honey, a lot of things.
So you're like a unique blend.
Exactly. The thing that I want to do is like have a closer community here in Barcelona, because pandemic, I think, was something that break out that relationship with other bars more or less, because of course every bar has to survive, I have to think how to survive, and it's a little bit distance, so we're going to do, for example, one of the ideas is go maybe to the beach or to the mountain and clean it a little bit and take out the plastic, blah, 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 but then have a lunch and we can be all the different bars together and shares ideas and shares, techniques, for example, and try to learn from different bars. Doesn't have to be a famous bar, doesn't have to be like a different bar. Every bar can come to us and do it this.
Well, that's interesting that you mentioned like a famous bar. Like, what the fuck is a famous bar? For me and you, a famous bar is something that maybe nobody else heard of, but is famous to us, locally, a place where we can go. Dr. Stravinsky has been playing in the game of top 100 best bars for a couple of years. And I guess where I'm going with this is that, is a rating like top 100 or top 50 best a driving motivator for a bar like Dr. Stravinsky?
I don't know. For me, it's like really hard to answer this question, because I'm like new in this kind of game.
Bullshit.
Let's say it. I want to be polite. So game. So of course, once we was into the list, like at the top 50 was the biggest moment for the bar, because always we was full, was a lot of line.
Did it change the amount of people in the coming to the bar? Did getting in the list do anything for the business?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
You mentioned something about on the day when you got into the list.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about that?
So I remember that was really funny. It was 2019. We was the number 25 in the world on the list. And I was here with one new guy, and another was coming just for that week because Antonio and Geray was in London because there was
the ceremony.
The ceremony, yeah. And that was on Thursday. Thursday night was normal, blah, blah, blah. I was working, the people here was like, we were washing, of course, and the people here was like, blah, blah, good.
So everybody was like supporting, even while being at the bar, they were interested.
Yeah. And then we have prepared, because we don't know what was the number, but we was prepared some bottles of cavas, or we invite the people that was here, blah, blah, blah. And that was nice. And then Friday was the same thing. Antonio and Geray still are in London.
The face is out drinking and you guys have to work. Perfect.
And we was here working, and was crazy. I remember that the Friday we break the record that we was making before in cocktails. Just the one day after. But the second day after, that was Saturday, that they was back also in the town, we break the record again. So it was crazy.
So essentially within 72 hours of getting into the top 50, you've immediately got more business. Yeah. You are immediately breaking records day by day. Yeah, and so it's a real thing. I think worthwhile to ask with regards to like Dr. Stravinsky is part of a bigger group of restaurants and bars. Yeah. And in that group is also another famous bar called Paradiso. We're a hyper-competitive industry. There's cocktail competitions, there's competitions between bars, sometimes it's open, sometimes it's closed. But you're like part of the same group where there's another bar that's in a rating. And is there inter-group competition? Does it exist? Or is it more like a healthy rivalry?
No, it's more like a healthy. Of course, every bar has 5 or 6 something for their goals. And we are totally different bars. That's, I suppose, is also the good thing, and don't make it like a competition in bad way, because they have their concept that is totally different to us. We get to different people, So it's we have a really good relation, and really good relation with the people from there. I'm always there. They are always here because it's good. And I think right now also what I want to do is try to be together more closer to, because we are part of the same group. How I say, we are two, famous bars, and if we do things together, I think we go farther. That's more or less the
teamwork, baby. Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work.
I think so.
The sort of a final to wrap it up. What are your plans long term? Like, what do you want to do? It's a really open question.
Well, one of the things I like most from this industry, for say something, is that you always have the time to meet different people. And I want to be honest, make friends all around the world and try to have the people coming here to see what we do and try to learn from other people. That's more or less my idea, because I think this is a job that you are learning all the time, and you have to grow all the time, because it's not you get the step behind other people that is still learning and practicing new things. And to be honest, for me, is that I want to improve also my techniques, my skills, being at the bar, learning from other people and trying to get how far I can do.
Cesar, thank you very much. Good chatting to you. Interesting to hear your thoughts about taking over the reins of this bar. Looking forward to this ambitious new menu where you're actually trying to do, to me, sounds like real sustainability. And looking forward to see how it works out. See you in 6 months.
So yeah, it's going to be a good challenge.
Hopefully then my Instagram works.
Hoping you like the sustainable things and you believe in that.
They try to convert me now.
Yeah.
I will. Bullshit.